everyone, Jess here. Today is your first day of your mobility, stability, 28 days to Christmas exercise. And our first exercise that we're gonna get started off with is a PNF half kneeling hip flexor stretch. The reason why I've chosen this one is because a lot of you challengers sit all day. And so this is gonna be a really good one to incorporate, and this is why we're doing it first. So we're gonna go through a bunch of different versions, easier all the way up to expert. So the first position that we're gonna get started with, I'd recommend grabbing a mat or something to put underneath your knee if it starts to bug your knee. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start at the bottom end of a lunge. So your knee is gonna be right underneath your hip, your front leg is gonna be right in line with the hip, knee is gonna be right over top of that ankle. So we're getting this 90 degrees here, 90-degree angles here. From this position here, in order to get a stretch through the front of the hip, we want to be going into a pelvic tilt. So we're tilting the pelvis under or tucking the butt under, almost like you're wearing a belt buckle, and we're trying to bring that belt buckle all the way up towards your face. Once we're in that position, we're gonna squeeze the glute really hard for 10 seconds. So I want you to grab a mat, get going. We're gonna start right now. So we're gonna tilt this hip under. We're gonna hold there for 10 seconds, really flexing the glute. You should feel a really big stretch right into the front of the thigh here. We're gonna hold for 3, 2, 1. We're gonna relax for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna tuck the hip right back in, big squeeze. We're gonna hold here for 5 more seconds. The harder you squeeze, the more of a stretch you're gonna get. 2, 1, relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right back in. Squeeze really hard. Make sure you're up nice and tall, you're not hunched over. We're bracing the abs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect. We're gonna head over to the other side. So once again, we are placing that knee right underneath the hip. This front leg's gonna be right in front, right in line with that hip. Knee's gonna be right over top of that ankle, creating those 90-degree angles. We're gonna get started here, so make sure you're in this position. And we're gonna do 10 seconds on, 5 seconds off, times 3. So from here, we're tucking the hip under, hiding the butt away, squeezing the glute nice and hard, staying up nice and tall. You should feel a really big stretch coming down the front of your thigh. We're gonna hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right back in, tuck it under, nice and tall. Flex everything. The tighter you squeeze, the more of a stretch you're gonna get. 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. We're gonna tuck, big squeeze. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. So for this exercise, I would recommend doing every hour that you're sitting. When we're sitting, we are shortening our hip flexors, making them really weak and tight. And typically when we feel that there's a tight muscle, it's usually weak. So this exercise is gonna be really good every hour that you sit. Do 10 seconds on, 5 seconds off, times 3 on both sides. You're gonna notice a huge difference in how your hips feel. All right, we're gonna move on to the progress version. For those of you that want a little bit more intense, or if you're really flexible, this one, you're gonna find something that you can place your back leg on. So I'm just gonna use my bed here. It's a little bit higher than what I would want. Typically you would want something that would be right in line with this back foot. So it's gonna be a lot higher for me, but we're gonna make it work. So for this one, you're gonna get your back leg up there, you're gonna get your front foot here, and you're gonna do the exact same thing. So we're really grabbing that pelvis under, we're flexing that right glute, and we're gonna hold here for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 6, 3, 2, 1. You relax for 5. So we're gonna relax out of that. Now with this one, it's really important that you're not overextending with the lower back. we're gonna go right back in. So what that would look like is if you're arching here or back here, we want to be right on top of that knee. We're gonna hold here for 3, 2, 1, and relax for 5, 2, 1 last time. So this is a really intense stretch. So if you're not flexible, do not do this version. It really hurts. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, we're gonna do the other side. So we're gonna get that back foot. The closer that back foot is, the more of a stretch you're gonna get in through your quad and also up into your hip flexor. All right, so you're just gonna shift back and we're gonna tuck that hip under. We're gonna squeeze nice and tight, 10 seconds. 6, 5. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right back in. We're gonna flex. Don't forget to squeeze that glute. 5, 4, 1. Relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. We're gonna tuck, squeeze. Should be really painful. I know it's painful for me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, and now we're just gonna add movement into here. So this is the stability part. So this is part 3. We're gonna go right into a lunge. So bottom end of that hip flexor stretch. We're gonna tuck that hip under. We're gonna get the hands out to the side. We're going to get nice and tight, like we're trying to crush something in between the armpits. And from there, we're gonna stand all the way up. And we're gonna go nice and slow down. So I want you to pretend like there's a string here. It's pulling you straight up and down. And all you're doing is coming up. We're keeping that hip tucked and we're coming straight down. You should feel that huge stretch right in the back of the leg there. And up and down. We're gonna do 2 more. So we're gonna do 6 here. Make sure you stay nice and tight. This is an advanced move, so if you feel like you can't stay upright, you're just not there yet, and that's okay. Balance might be a little bit challenging. Now we're gonna come down, last one, and down. All right, we're gonna do the other side. So once again, this bottom knee is right underneath the hip. We're pretending like there's a line coming up, and we're gonna get nice and tight in through the armpits, flex those fists, and we're gonna come up, straighten out, and straight down. And up. And straight down. Excellent work. 4, keep squeezing that glute in the back. 5, tuck down. Last one here, and down. Excellent, nice work. So if you're someone that sits a lot, this is gonna be a really, really good exercise to do every day. For someone that just has tight hips in general, tight hip flexors, this is gonna be a really good exercise. And you just wanna make sure that you're doing some strengthening with the hip flexors as well, just because they are tight and weak. So we need to stretch them out and then train them.